All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Atlanta Falcons. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Set! Black 20!
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Well, Charles, Le'Veon Bell, 26 going on 27, and the shelf life of these NFL running backs seems to be getting shorter and shorter. How long can he go at this torrid pace?
Usually we say 30 is kind of the line of demarcation for a running back. But Le'Veon Bell played all 16 games in 2017, takes great care of himself off the field. I think he's got a chance to break through that 30-year-old mark, and in a big way.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
4 down. Set. Blue 30.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's first and 10, right at the 40.
Set. Black 20.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's third and short.
Show that bench release and go. Set. 180.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Let's go. Set. Black 20. 8.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. So on fourth down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Boswell has this one going left, no good. He missed it left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Freeman. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. The 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Set! Blue 30!
Again, it's Bell. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. The result, a first down as a quick slant gets him 14.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Hey, get up!
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. From the shotgun, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger going to hand the bell. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Blue 30.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now Ryan on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Eric Weddle's one of my favorite players in the league, Brandon. A guy that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making a play on the football. And he has excellent hands, as we just saw there.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The give is to Bell. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. They'll pitch it out to Bell. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this ball is going to be touched out just shy of midfield. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Ryan Shazier in there to get him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Get up!
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. It's Desmond Trufant.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line.
Hey, let's go.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. He's got a man, complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Get up! Gun. Hey, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Hey, wait.
Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Get up!
On 2nd down, Ryan. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And This time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Bryant's kick is good. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So out come the Falcons now. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Let's go. Let's go.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Hey, let's go.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Get up. Hey, wait. Hey, let's go. Let's go.
To throw is Ryan. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. On second down, here's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Get up!
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Hey, let's go.
To throw on second down. Ryan throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. A give to Bell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. And here now come the Falcons. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Falcons on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, Tuesday.
From the gun, Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bell. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On third down, Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Ryan now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Let's go. Gun. Here we go.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, Tuesday. Get up. Go.
Again on 2nd and 10. It's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Freeman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Hayward in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the rookie Terrell Edmonds. And now the ball's out. Fumbled near midfield. And it's picked up by the Steelers. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
No, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll set him back 5. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Atlanta now coming out on the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 39. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
On 1st down, Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You circle
the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On the counter, here's Bell. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. You gave the stat early on that he's one of just 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards last year, and then you said they needed to bottle him up for under 100 yards. He's way under 100 yards.
Bottom line, he's had virtually no success whatsoever.
And because of that, among a couple other reasons, they're down on the scoreboard. And the Steelers on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8.
Black 20.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. A screen to Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
Hey, let's go! Gun!
Freeman again. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Bryant missed it. No good. Wide to the left there for Bryant. And this score will stay right where it is. So now from a defensive perspective, they might still have a pulse.
Yeah, that probably would have sealed their fate, but now they're still within 2 scores.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
Like 30.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time. That's the way they've got to play this. One play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Side! Like 20!
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a 1st down.
All right, let's go get it now, all right? Everyone's got 4 down.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Snickers, 66.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but it must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Ben to throw again. And it's hauled in by Rodgers for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rodgers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken near the 13. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That good for 19 at a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Freeman again, first down carry. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
Get up! Gun. Hey, let's go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate, it might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores, so you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back, but that may not matter now.
Set! Blue 30.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time. Right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rogers with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. To throw again is Roethlisberger. Incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Oh, and I think they got it. Yes, the Steelers have it. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Throwing now is Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And Bryant's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute it.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A nice gain of 21 yards. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Falcons, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.